So we have Trump's Hollywood reshape favors Zack Snyder's DC over James Gunn exclusive. So I hopefully this is real news now and not just an opinion piece. So take it away, Tsunami.
Got it. Zack Snyder's DC is suddenly lining up with where Hollywood is heading, according to insider info about Trump, the Saudis, and the Ellisons reshaping the future entertainment. Shift favors mythological operatic heroes over the grounded, feelings-driven direction James Gunn is taking with Superman. And we are told that the next owners of Warner Brothers want the former. A new Hollywood power block is emerging. My insider says Trump, the Ellisons, the Saudis, and other major players are pushing Hollywood back towards event-driven, four-quadrant blockbusters. They want big mythologies, classic action sensibilities, and films built for a global audience. That's the kind of cinema Snyder makes. It's also the opposite of the smaller, grounded, emotional, and divisive tone Gunn prefers. My source previously added that the Saudis and UFC favor Snyder's muscular filmmaking style. Films built around intensity, scale, and a confident mythic tone. This tracks with UFC's massive expansion and their first event on Paramount Plus, UFC 324, which marks a major shift towards live event dominance in streaming. The UFC and the Saudis are also holding a UFC event at the White House. Brett Ratner entering the picture again is part of the same trend, who just so happened to financially back the Snyderverse. He even directed the Melania Trump documentary and This Circle of Power. Saudis, the Ellisons, Ratner, and others want Hollywood to produce bold, spectacle-driven movies again. Michael Bay is also reportedly back on Transformers. Why Snyder's DC fits the new direction? The insider said James Cameron and Christopher Nolan represent the balance Hollywood wants: mythology, scale, and iconic characters. That's the lane Snyder has always lived in. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League were big, operatic, and rooted in larger-than-life heroism. My source added that James Cameron even urged Snyder to shoot Man of Steel in native 3D because he saw the mythic potential. Snyder went big anyway, but Warner Brothers fought his vision every step of the way. Producer Dallas Saunier recently echoed the same sentiment when talking about the Trump-backed Rush Hour revival. He predicted a wave of classically male-driven movies with mentally tough, traditional, courageous, confident heroes, maybe even a tad cocky, but dedicated to honor and duty. Plus, of course, a few explosions, gun battles, helicopters, fistfights, and car chases. That description sounds exactly like what we've been told, and more like Snyder's Superman than Gunn's. Gunn's Superman seen as out of step. The insider says the success of K-pop Demon Hunters exposed the flaws in Gunn's Superman. Asian and global audiences want strong, iconic, rock star heroes, the kind of figures who dominate a room like Michael Jackson or Elvis. They don't want heroes who whine, get pushed around, or crumble in a crisis. Recall the international audience completely rejected Gunn's Superman movie. K-pop Demon Hunters delivered edgy, mythological characters portrayed with confidence and power. No one was a victim. That's what the global market wants, and Snyder already proved he could deliver it. Gunn's approach clashes with that demand, which is why the new Hollywood power block is looking past him. Straight from my insiders. Quote, the success of K-pop Demon Hunters revealed the flaws of James Gunn's Superman. The Asian audience and the rest of the world want strong, edgy, and mythological stories with bigger-than-life rock star personalities like Michael Jackson and Elvis. Two legends that could command a room and inspired awe. Not someone like Gunn's Superman who whines, gets pushed around, and is too busy dealing with feelings and being victimized in the moment of crisis. The protagonists in K-pop Demon Hunters were iconic, bigger-than-life, mythological, and weren't portrayed as victims. Zack Snyder's DC fits perfectly with the current and future zeitgeist. Dana White explains the death of monoculture. My insider pointed me to a recent interview where UFC's UFC White addressed the death of monoculture, and it lines up exactly with what the Saudis and Ellison want to fix. White said the old Hollywood system worked because studios made the best scripts and created true shared events. Everyone knew when a blockbuster was coming out, theaters were packed, and people felt fear of missing out if they weren't part of it. White said, today's industry is the opposite. He said studios pump out garbage, tension is shattered across streaming and social media, and there's absolutely none of that shared excitement anymore. He even said he doesn't know when new movies come out because nothing feels like a must-see event. The YouTubers pointed to F1, performed huge internationally as the only recent film that brought people together because it stayed in theaters for months. It was treated like an event, not disposable content. That's the same model the Saudis, the Ellisons, UFC, and Trump wanted to rebuild. Massive cultural moments shared by everyone. And again, that type of filmmaking is Zack Snyder's lane, and it's why Zack is teaming with White, the Saudis, and the UFC on the UFC Brawler movie. Saudi Arabia, AI, and the return of event cinema. My insider says Trump and the Saudis reached an agreement tied to a nuclear-powered AI initiative. AI requires massive energy, and it will power the next generation of entertainment, especially the quote-unquote scrolling class, the billions of people consuming entertainment on their phones. But to balance that out, the Saudis, the Ellisons, and even UFC's Dana White want to return to monoculture. They want huge shared events people watch together. That includes sports and massive blockbuster films that justify a theatrical experience. This model doesn't support small-scale superhero stories. It supports mythic event cinema, which is Snyder's territory. The same direction is reflected even in the political sphere. Just today, Melania Trump announced she is launching a production company, Muse Films, ahead of Brett Ratner's documentary Melania. It's another sign the Trump orbit is expanding deeper into film production and entertainment. In Greek and Roman mythology, a muse presides over the arts and sciences, and it was also the Secret Service code name for Donald Trump during Trump's first term in office. I don't know if you want to play this or not.
Oh, yes. Hold on, let's
It's just an
click on
introduction
it.
to what her thing looks like. Yep.
Oh, it sounds great. Muse and everything.
It looks very, really Greek inspired, ancient Greek inspired with the
Yeah.
with the font and everything.
Hopefully that's good. And here are our heroes, and we continue a bit more.
All right. Snyder becomes the ideal fit for the next Warner Brothers. If the Ellisons take over Warner Brothers, Snyder aligns with everything they want to build: mythology, spectacle, iconic heroes, global appeal. It's the opposite of what Gunn is doing. We're told Gunn is out with the WBD sale. My insider says all signs point to a future where Snyder's approach fits the new Hollywood regime far better than Gunn's, especially if the Ellisons take control of the studio. And with Trump and the Saudis pushing for a big event return, Snyder lands at the center of where Hollywood is heading. End article.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, so that actually had some real information. If this insider is believed, this sounds very good. And of course, this is something that makes like so much sense. Because yeah, literally before we had this feeling of fear of missing out,
Yeah.
because those movies were events. We were waiting for them for years. Like, do you remember the hype when Zack Snyder announced BVS?
Oh
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
absolutely out of this world. It
Absolutely,
was
yeah.
Comic-Con was then important and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And now it's like meh.
Even when it was, an action oriented movie, not a superhero movie, but again, you want to go and see it. You don't want to wait for the VHS, the Blu-ray, the DVD, the Netflix release or whatever. You want to go see it in the cinema.
Yeah, it was
Multiple
totally
times
different
even if you can,
feeling.
yes.
And yes, people that are normies were also hyped about those movies and wanted to see it, wanted to bring their friends. Now there's nothing like that, and yes, nobody knows which movies are out, and everything feels so casual that it's like, do you really have to see this movie? Hey, what movie is on the theaters? Let's see the program. What's the program?
And there nothing. People even wanted to do double features before. I did several double features. Back in the days with a friend of mine, I did double feature. The first X-Men, and then the Mummy 2. Man, what a great time!
Yeah.
You do know? Oh, there is X-Men. Cool, let's watch it. Oh, and after that, there is the Mummy 2. Let's go and watch that. Now, what to watch now? Let's do double feature.
We also
even
did
if you
a
can.
double feature with you.
Oh yeah.
Oh
We did
my
double
gosh,
feature
we
with,
saw that movie with Sandra Bullock.
with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum.
Which was, I forgot the name, but it was actually a very cool movie. It was hilarious.
The Lost something, I forget.
Who
It
cares?
was hilarious. And
It's
then
a good movie.
Morbius.
And then Morbius, and you were like,
Yeah, but also it was more affordable.
Yeah.
now that also is not.
so
affordable
we
to
had
you.
half good and half slop
Yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly. But we could see the good and the bad. as we
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Now there is nothing like that. Now more and more people say, well, why go to the cinema when I can just wait for a month, and then you see it on some
And
type
grow
of
a beard.
and grow a beard. Yes.
Yes. So tonight, what do you think about this?
I think you guys are right on the nose. And one thing, like key demographic that you're missing is people want to take their kids out also. And that's going to be a shit ton of money where parents could just go ahead and put their kids in front of something where maybe they'll walk away and be like, wow, that was really heroic. That's my new hero. And then there's all that merchandising shirts and everything else is going to end up toys that are going to come
I
out
know
from
what
it,
you
games
heard,
and
yes.
whatnot. So they need to make this move. It's just how much of what's left over, the rot inside of all of Hollywood in the writers' room are still going to be hanging around to fucking screw things up.
I'm
Or
Just,
certain
sorry.
nonsense.
just to elaborate, Nani,
Elaborate.
you did say people want to go to bring their kids out, right?
Take their kids out.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what he said, and I
Because we
heard
heard
tits
something
out.
else. We heard tits out, and I
and
said, well, what? And the Empress was laughing and
children.
said, she heard the same thing. Yeah.
Oh,
I
sorry.
apologize then.
Sorry for
I'm
that.
definitely talking about pause. Parents bringing their children out.
Of course.
Yes.
But it just was so close together.
I mean, getting some tits out will sure help Hollywood anyway. So, you know.
Man of Gooning did show up in the chat, so I
right.
throw something out there
It
for him.
helps.
And everything started.
It
yes.
helps. So yeah, okay. I mean, we totally agree.
Absolutely.
So guys, let us know what you think about this topic in the comments of the future video or on this stream. I hope that you enjoyed this video. From me, the 40k Empress and Logan, the creators of this channel. I wish you all the best, guys, who watch this next. Let us know what you think in the comments and check the links down below if you like to support us. Love you guys. Bye bye.